All right, guys, it's that time. Welcome to Real Talk Russ. As you know, I'm your host, Russ Martini, and I'm joined with my co-host and best friend, Tyler. And today we have a very special guest. He's our very first guest on the show. We're going to welcome tattoo artist, shop owner of Velvet Rose Tattoo Studio, Flash. So here he is in the flesh.
Hey guys, nice to meet you. I'm Flash. Flash in action under Instagram. I run Velvet Rose Tattoo Studio. We've been open for, I want to say, 2 going on 3 years now. We're a full anime shop, full color, full nerdy shop, really.
Right on. So we'll kind of talk about a couple things. So aside from Velvet Rose, because we kind of we know now what the shop is and stuff. We'll kind of talk about how I met you, right? So obviously I'm tatted up, right? Kind of came in. It's been over a year now, I think. I met you through one of your artists, Vic. So Vic works here.
Artist, man.
He was kind of new, right? He was still newer with you guys at the time, and did a phenomenal job, right? Like I had tattoos from him, I think, going back even the year prior from that. So he told me about the new studio he was in, and obviously I wanted to check it out. So I came in, and then you and I kind of hit it off right off the bat too. I think that all of last year I was coming in just getting tatted nonstop, and now fully sleeved out, and it's a couple tattoos later, and here we are. So I think we really kind of connected too with just the style of the shop. It makes it very unique, and I know we're going to touch base into that a little bit later. So that's kind of how we kind of hit it off, and I think I brought Tyler over here too.
So, excuse me, I was getting tattooed at a different location down in Hollywood. And it was a guy I didn't really hit it off too well with. There's a language barrier between us.
You couldn't talk to him.
Couldn't talk to him. But he did have really good tattoos, and then Russ had came in and mentioned the fact of that this whole shop was kind of what I'm into, anime, the nerd stuff, right?
Right
like
up our alley.
Marvel, all that Pokemon, everything. And he was talking to me about it for a while. He kept trying to get me in. And eventually I was like, I'll go check it out, and I immediately walked in, and I was kind of just in love with the whole vibe.
Finally got him in, dude.
I'm glad, dude. It's crazy because, I'm trying to bring this whole anime kind of style out here to where, my favorite part is putting movies and animes on TV that people aren't really into, and by the end of the session, they're like, what was the name of that anime again? And then them hitting me up after, and it's like, dude, that was sick.
I remember that. I think you guys did that with Hell's Paradise.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just chilling one day, and Vic's working on my Star Wars sleeve, right? And nothing related to anime whatsoever. And he throws that on, and I'm just like, there's no way this is what is this? And I remember the very next day, I go to Tyler, and I'm like, dude, what is up with that show? Yeah. And we're talking about it, I'm like, a kid should not watch that show.
I've been trying to get Russ to watch anime since I've known him, since 2014, right? 10 years later. And
when did you get into it?
Just last year with that show. With that,
no way.
Legitimately with that show.
From 100%.
Us. Legitimately.
We got you
100%. Yeah, so that was your goal. Hey, you guys converted.
That's actually exciting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been trying for a long time, and you guys were the first one to get him in.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's awesome to know.
It's great. I'm telling you, man. So tell us a little bit about your early life, man. What was it like, growing up? Did you grow up out here, or where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, California. Spent most of my youth and high school days there. From there I moved to Vegas, just because my parents actually moved out there. Nice. And that's kind of where I started tattooing. I didn't find tattooing out here at all. It was more out there.
Was it like Vegas, Vegas that we know Vegas, or was it kind of the outskirts of
Vegas, the way we know Vegas. But you're talking about a 18-year-old kid thrown into Vegas that can't even do anything yet. You know what I mean? So I got to experience the before drinking age to after.
Yeah. All right. And you started you got into as an apprenticeship, or how did that work?
Yeah. So I learned, or how do I start off? I asked my mom for a simple Amazon kit for my 17th birthday. Mm-hmm. Kind of fucked around and found out on myself, just to find out that I think the best way to learn, dude, is getting an apprenticeship. And so then that's kind of what I did. And I did a lot of research, was what is it that they're looking for? So Vegas is perfect, dude, because it's saturated out there, bro. When I was last there was maybe 314 shops at the time.
Yeah.
Now it's probably tripled. For sure, bro. 10 years later, it's for sure tripled. So the way I looked at it was there was a gas station on every corner. gas station, like a tattoo shop, almost like a gas station.
Yeah.
On every corner.
I think you said it right. Yeah. Like, yeah.
To where I would walk in and ask somebody to teach me, and out of 314 dudes, somebody was gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. Trust me, I heard a lot of no's before I heard yeah.
And like, what age did you get into like Pokemon and like anime and all that kind of stuff? Because obviously, like last year was my first. Even though he had been trying for years, to kind of, like last year was my first time where I was like, okay, like for you, what age was that?
For me, dude, Pokemon's literally what drives me. Yeah. Like it really is. I've been into it since I can remember. As for anime, I actually just got into it, man. Maybe like the last 6-7 years, dude.
Damn. Okay.
Like, it's crazy because in the beginning of tattooing, like, anime wasn't even around yet.
Yeah.
So I kind of just picked it up out of nowhere and just started watching it.
Yeah.
And then learning that you can kind of tattoo like that changed the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I think this is, so for those that don't know, this shop is definitely unique.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was trying to drag you in here because like from the moment I walked in and saw like all the stuff on the wall, and we'll throw that up in the video for you guys to see. We'll do some stills so you guys can see what the shop looks like. When you walk in, it's a different vibe, right? I think like people think tattoo shop, they're thinking, oh, there's like some old English writing on the wall, and there's some bikers getting tattooed, and the heart that says mom, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's not real, that doesn't exist, that doesn't happen anymore. Or they'll think like the cholos and the lowriders, and like, and that's some girl in a car, like, okay, yeah, that's all that exists, that does exist, but that's not every tattoo shop.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring, dude. Like I'm telling you, I've been tattooing for 11 years. Fuck, the first more than half of it was not necessarily like being what's tattoo considered, but just having to be that persona though. I'm talking about like, you're right, anime didn't start blowing up, dude, at least in the tattoo industry till like the last 5-6 years. Like right when I jumped into it was when I was seeing all these artists just kick off, dude, and I'm like don't get me wrong, that traditional fucking wolf and dagger is sick, but have you seen this fucking Pokemon piece? Like oh bro, like the artists are just getting wild now, bro, and like it's such a weird fine line because I'm so fucking scared, but it's like it's exciting because like tattooing's changing a lot, bro.
Ever-evolving.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting just in general, like what we looked at, I would say like what people got punked for when we were growing up, right? Like kids got picked on, bullied, all that kind of stuff. And now it's kind of like it's socially acceptable, right? Like no one cares. I think maybe everyone's just stop giving a fuck, so nobody cares, and they're just like, "Hey, I like this. Like, I'm sitting here with a Star Wars sleeve. If I had this growing up, people would have thought I was a nerd. I wouldn't probably never had a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have gotten made fun of. Now, the compliments don't stop, and it's like so society's kind of changing in that aspect, and not only that, but I think industries like the tattoo industry is changing, right? Like, so things are evolving. Like, it's not going from just like that biker tattoo shop. Now you can have a specialized tattoo shop that does like anime work and like all the stuff we're into, right? Comics, Star Wars, like that. It's a different subculture, and it's evolved into a whole shop. That's awesome. Like,
I'm here for it, bro. Trust me. Like things are just changing so much, bro. Like to where tattoos back then, like I said, they were just very simple, straight to the point, traditional, black and gray, Japanese script. Yeah. Now it's like, well, let me get like this anime tattoo with like hella highlights, like just it's changing a lot.
I think that also, would you say that changes to how artists are able to learn and increase their skills? Because think about like you flip through like manga, right? Or you look at like the way Pokemon are drawn out and colored. Yeah. That's not traditionally done in tattoos. No. So now you have to illustrate that and put that from, instead of ink to paper, it's now ink to skin. Right, and that's going to change up essentially like really stress someone's learning curve on how to do
that. For sure,
right?
bro, because everything you think just went right out the window. So there's actually an artist called Ken Sugimori, which he's the main guy who created Pokemon like on cards, like that whole traditional kind of style. Yep. So that's how I started off tattooing Pokemon, keeping it his style. So it's almost like, to me, he's like a Sailor Jerry, but in Pokemon. Okay. Because the way he does his shading is just fucking sick. So even whenever I'm doing a Pokemon tattoo and I'm not sure, dude, I'll look up some Ken Sugimori references and be like, cool, and know where I gotta go.
That's sick, dude. That's cool.
And then as for like how it's just building up now, dude, I think we're just at that age group, bro, that like you realize like nobody cares, bro. Nobody gives a fuck. Like back then, you're right. I used to actually hide that I played Pokemon. I used to hide fucking that I even liked Pokemon, just to be like, just to forget about it and try to grow up. To like later in tattoo realizing like, nah, dude, that's actually where my heart was. Yeah. Like, and now I think my tattoos are just coming out better because of that.
Yeah.
Because like don't get me wrong, I'm down to do roses, I'll do skulls, I'll do ships, but dude, come in with a Charizard, bro.
You need to change it from Velvet Squirtle, dude. We're gonna change the name.
So much fun.
So curious, man. Like when you were younger, watching Pokemon, just like I was, man, getting home, getting off at 3:30 from school, making sure we're home by 4:00 so we can watch the show, right? From that point, did you immediately want to draw them? Like, were you immediately attracted to the art aspect of it, kind of?
I was, dude. Going back to my younger days, I did start drawing when I was little. I mean, the first time I could remember picking up a pencil was maybe 5 or 6 years old. Yeah. I do remember going to one of my school fairs, and we would go and see what kind of book you want, right? So I would get these tracing Pokemon ones, or like Pokédex, like that had information on each one. So I would take that, take it home, dude, and I would trace it. And me personally, being the 6, 7-year-old I was, dude, I would trace it, and to me it felt like I caught it. Like that image became mine. Like that was my work now. Even though it was traced, even though it was this and that, but I think that's just where it first started, you know? So like I literally traced fucking almost every Pokemon in the book, bro. At least for sure the first 3 gens. Like for sure.
Yeah. So what do you feel like at that time? How did you feel like did you immediately love the art aspect of it? Did it just take off like, hey, this is something I want to do? Or is it just something that, you just enjoyed? And
I just enjoyed. Yeah. Like, I never thought about it back then.
Never thought maybe like this could be a career someday. Dude, of course not. I mean, we're young, but.
That's why. Like, just kind of was like, just the idea of just art.
Fun. Yeah, it's just fun.
You know what I mean? Like, you're a 6-year-old kid. You're not thinking business. You're not thinking fucking money. You're just thinking like, what is this in front of me? This is art. Like, I get the chance to create this, or somebody else created this, and it's just for us to enjoy. It's eye candy.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I think that's what separates artists from just even other people. Like, right? Most kids, when they're young, they're playing with toys. Now they're probably like on their iPad or whatever. They're playing video games, whatever the case is. And then you kind of break it down to artists will draw. Artists will go out and find a way to create something. And that's kind of the difference between an artist growing up as a kid and just like a regular kid that's not artistic. Yeah. And that kind of does create. It kind of shows you early on if they're that, and it could be music, right? That's a form of art.
That's why
you'll see like different kids in different aspects and what they're each into. So it's interesting. That's that's cool, man. So growing up in Vegas, was it hard, dude? Like, how was that? Was it easy? Like, I think Vegas, man, I'm like, okay, Sin City, dude, you're going to party up. Like, I'm thinking I'm drinking. At 18, man, I'm drinking. I'm going freaking balls to the wall, right? Like, how was that? What was that like for you?
Literally how you explained it.
Yeah?
It was just wild where we got out there, 17, 18. I had a cousin that actually moved out there. He was a little bit older. And so he lived with us. But my younger days, dude, I would spend it skating.
Okay.
So that was a lot of my influence alone by itself. Literally, like you just said right now, I remember one of those nights where like we would go out to like parties and like hang out and have a few drinks, but then like go home, literally knock out early, and then wake up at 4 a.m. just to go skate.
Damn. Okay.
Right before school. Nice. And that was the gnarliest feeling because like, how are we getting this whole session in, dude, before actually going to school?
Yeah.
But living out there though, man, it definitely was a little difficult. Like it's Vegas, city doesn't sleep. You aren't old enough to drink, so your limitations are there. But then like I see it as a place of opportunity, bro. Like once you're 21, you can do almost anything you want there. Like I said, like when I got a job because that's where I started apprenticing out there. So I went out there looking for shops, and like nobody took me seriously. You're a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid.
Right.
Like, grabbed my book, fucking, all right, try somewhere else. Until somebody was like, all right, shot. Yeah.
Had you practiced on anybody prior to the apprenticeship, or on yourself even?
So when I asked my mother for that tattoo kit beforehand, I literally did a lot of stuff on myself and family only. So I did a lot of fuck ups, did a lot of learning, just for me to realize, like, again, I need to learn the right way. Like, this is only going to take me far.
So, like, going through that, what would you, like, just kind of describe your apprenticeship? Like, what was that like? You know, like I'm thinking like apprenticeship, because I know, like, from what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, man, I'm not an expert on this, but I think like the tattoo industry, their apprenticeships essentially is kind of like military run, right? Like the way that you start an apprentice, you're like mopping the floors, man. You're kind of doing like, I don't say the bitch work, but it kind of is, right? Bitch work, yeah. It's kind of like time. You're kind of you're getting hazed, but you're putting you're putting the work, right? You have to know how to do certain things before
serious
you get
about
it. Was it like that still in Vegas for you?
Oh,
Like
absolutely,
getting in,
bro.
even worse because you were younger, or what? Like walk us through that. What did that look like?
So let's take it a step back, and so I'm looking for an apprenticeship, right? Heard a lot of no's. Finally, somebody was like, all right, cool, I'm willing to teach you. But again, keep in mind, I didn't drive yet. I lived with my mom. As soon as the guy was like, gave me a little trial and said, hey, draw what I'm asking for on this piece of paper. It gave me maybe an hour. I told my mom real quick, hey, chill for a minute, go grab lunch. Drew for an hour for him to look at it and be like, how soon can you start? And I'm like, fuck, right now. So literally, he went to the side, grabbed the shirt, and he's like, what size are you? Medium? Cool. He's like, here, put this on. I was like, took off my shirt, and then he's like, all right, cool. I need you to go over here, do this. Started directing me. So I called my mom real quick, and I was like, hey, mom, just go home and come pick me up later. Like, oh, I'll call you later. She's like, everything's good. I'm like, I think I got the job. But it's a fucking working interview, so let's see what happens. So literally, as soon as I got all right, let's see what you got, started from there, bro. Yeah. I did work 6 days out of 7. I didn't have a job like I was again 18, so I'm like, I didn't really have bills. I mean, my car was already paid off at the time. I had a car payment, a phone bill, nothing crazy. So then I just kind of did all that, and for the most part, dude, my apprenticeship was pretty smooth though, man. Like the worst thing they had me do is just kind of do food runs, which is cool though, because that's kind of when they take care of you anyways, because as an apprentice you don't get paid.
Yeah,
you get paid with knowledge, but it's kind of hard to hit up your bills and be like, hey, can I pay with knowledge? Right. So it's kind of like,
been trying it for years, man. It doesn't work.
Did you have any other source of income at the time? Like, what were you trying to do to support your goal, your dream, right?
Dude, I went full head in, like, head first, bro. Like, again, I'm 18, fucking, I only worked one job, which was Whole Foods. Got fired from there just for being head ass, for coming in late. But like I said, it was one of those things where like, it was just there, bro.
Yeah. So like, you feel like as soon as you locked in and this is what you want to do, like nothing else would stop you. Like what drove you to keep pushing through? Because I know apprenticeship's got to be tough.
Definitely get used to crying. It's tough.
Crying.
Yeah, no, get used to crying, dude, because shit's tough. And we're talking about like older apprenticeships to now.
Yeah.
It's just like back then, dude, like my apprenticeship, for example, there was days that I did want to hide myself in the closet and just like close myself away because it was a lot. You know, but it was good though, because it definitely taught me a lot. Like back then, dude, we used to just scrub tubes. We would just like mop, sweep, clean mirrors, like run back and forth, do errands, wash their car. Honestly, they could be tattooing and we'll tie their shoe.
You say wash their cars?
Yeah.
And tie their shoes?
Yeah.
So is that the point where you got to like wanting to cry? Because walk me through that, basically. You know, like
the crying part wasn't even that part, bro. I'll tie your shoe and I'll make sure that shit's super tight so you can't even take it off. It's more of when 4 or 3 artists want you at the same time and they're like, hey Flash, I need napkins. You're over there running, getting it. Hey Flash, I need this changed. Okay, cool. I'm running over here, but let me rip napkins. Hey Flash, can you do this part? Yeah, hold on, I got you. No, I'm asking now. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go do this. Flash, where's my napkins? Fuck, bro. Take them.
Yeah, it's almost like the hazing part, but they're trying to teach you like stress. I'm guessing, right? Like everything's for a reason. Wow. I'm guessing.
You totally just gave me the whole realization, because I actually do better under stress. I do way better under pressure.
Yeah.
That probably did already kind of lead me up into like expect to be called 5 different ways, bro, and just keep it cool all the way through.
Yeah, and I mean that could happen too with a client, right? Like they're sitting there in the chair and they're, you know, hey, actually, I want this done, and can you add this, and can you change that, and maybe do this color different, right? Like I've been there, you know.
That's why you gotta be patient, bro. Patience is the number one thing. So going back to the apprenticeships, the old school one, dude, honestly, it taught me patience, taught me humility, taught me direction, taught me how to just keep my cool, really, you know? As for the newer ones, dude, like, nobody's really using metal tubes anymore. It's all disposable now. So for the most part, it's like, hey, can you break me down and just throw away my setup? Back then, hey, can you break me down, clean my tubes, clean my machine, wash my tubes, make sure everything is solid. One thing I remember specifically, bro, not gonna mention any names, and I know I still ain't shit.
No, come on.
But
he's like dropping names.
Drop them.
yeah, it's just I remember being like, hey, if my tubes aren't clean, bro, just that's the next tube we're gonna tattoo you with.
Oh,
sick. So what that means is like, you best believe, dude, fucking all that shit's gotta be like solid, you know, like
you're able to drink off of that, you know.
Yeah, and that's how it used to be back then, bro. Like everything had to be sterilized to the dot.
Yeah.
Nowadays, even for us, bro, like I can tell things have gotten lazier because it's more disposable. So it's like, if it's messy, all right, just throw it away.
All right. So with some of that, like, you know, we're talking about like how tech, you know, kind of helps in the industry, right? Like, so now everything is not like it used to be, right? Like even your machines are different. Everything's kind of different. So do you think that's making like people a little bit lazier now? Like if you really kind of break it down, like with more technology, people kind of get a little bit lazier.
In a sense, man, just because I mean, like back then we used to actually clean tubes, do everything, and scrub them. But like now with an iPad, I mean, if anything, it's changed to where it's just as hard but different. To where like if you have an iPad and you're actually able to stay up with it all night, dude, we're expecting like 2, maybe 3 times more flash than when you couldn't draw at night. And same with like now, dude, like they complain about mopping, sweeping, picking up things, hammering on the wall, fucking cleaning a car, when in reality it's like, dude, that taught you a lot of fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, dude, I wouldn't complain about sweeping or mopping because I would start from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And instead of just kind of like doing randomly and head-assing or missing spots, it was more of like, you know what, like let me actually start from here to there. And I realized with my tattoos, dude, like you start from one corner and you work your way through instead of jumping from here to here to here. You know, it's kind of like a copy machine. So in everything, dude, I don't know, there's always fundamentals. There's patience, teaches you a lot of things.
So you think something is for me, you know, simple as just mopping the floors. Do you think that kind of geared your way of how you know, attack your tattoos when you're doing them? Like, that's what I picked up from what you were saying.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Because the way I look at it is like, if you had your own home, you would mop it the way you want, right? Mm-hmm. Most people would mop a business just to get by. In a tattoo, this is my work, this is my art, this is my name, to where like I'm gonna mop it the way that it needs to be mopped.
Yeah.
And if in a weird way, it's gonna get tattooed the way I needed it to get tattooed.
So it's like a process that you go through, like the same way you attack every process the same. Did you learn those fundamentals from that time? Like while you were in the apprenticeship, did it really teach you those things, or was it really just like a hazing? Like I'm curious myself.
In a weird way, dude, it could have just been hazing. It's maybe how I processed it.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
Because most people could be like, fuck this. This shop is just making me clean.
Yeah.
I'm not learning shit.
So
when in reality, it's like, dude, wait till you put your hands on a machine. Maybe all that cleaning and mopping, you'll be like, oh shit, okay, I'm actually ready for this.
So you took that negative to a positive and had to, like, this is what I'm gaining from it.
Yeah, I guess if you had to, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It teaches like the discipline, organization. You kind of become a little more methodical about what you're doing, right? You're not just, I'm just going to shade this to shade it, but I'm shading this so I can progress and kind of move across, you know, the image and then get, you know, kind of complete it a little faster,
Absolutely.
right? Or in a way that maybe you have to pick up, right? If you have to pick up tomorrow, you know it's not just spots everywhere, and you know.
And you're like, where did I leave this behind? And
right.
You're jumping in from here to here. So if in a weird way, man, it's just apprenticeships are just different from back then to now. Like, I don't think one is harder than the other anymore. They're both just as tough.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you take an apprentice and put them through an apprenticeship nowadays, obviously you own your own shop, you own your own business. Are you more lax because of what you went through yourself, or do you give it just as hard or harder?
Oh, dude, it built character. You best believe they need the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I constantly hear my mentor in my head. Great guy, dude. Just taught me a lot of things. I could still hear you ain't shit, but in a weird way, it's more of a humbling thing. Just reminds me like, hey, you ain't shit, but you know you can do this better.
Yeah, always pushes you, right?
Like, you ain't shit now, but let's see what you got in you type
Yeah,
thing.
and I love it too, because like it's just I don't know. I mean, for all we know, dude, it could just be hazing. Like, I really don't know. I've only gotten 2 good jobs from the guy, but I know Leo though, man. He definitely means it every time.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So it's like at the end of the day, there's a lesson in everything. I think is really what you kind of took away from that. Is like everything you went through, there was a lesson. There was like a turning point where you kind of came further because of what you were learning, what you were going through, and it kind of built a character. I think in a way, though, if you really kind of think about it too, we're missing that in like society nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
because
everybody's sensitive, dude. Everyone's like they're all scared. Like you ask somebody, just at regular work, like, hey, I need you to go clean this or clean that, and they're like, oh, it's like it's the shit job. All of a sudden, like, why are you picking on me? It's like
either you're not getting paid enough, this or that, but like in a trade school, dude. I mean, if you fuck up, I mean, you kind of just lost your chance.
100%.
I'm not kidding. Like, people would come in and just try to act like, I don't need to go through this. And then it's like, there goes your opportunity. That's fine. That's on you.
I kind of wish everything was like that now. Because if you really think about it, if every like industry, everything was like that, every job you went to, it's like now they're worried about everyone's feelings, right? Everyone's feeling, oh, this person has their feelings hurt. And it's like, who cares, man? Name one time in your life where you didn't have your feelings hurt. It doesn't exist, man. It does not exist. If anything, when you go through that difficult time, it builds character. It teaches you to be
builds character.
You become resilient to it, right? Like, you bounce back.
Like even look at my apprentice prof, dude. Like I can't even ask you half the things he's done that he's like, why am I doing this? Would get a little bit upset. I would explain, and he's like, yeah, I get it. And that's what I loved, because I was the opposite, where I would keep saying like why or what, and like I just wouldn't understand, and I would just fight against it. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, dude.
And we'll have to get him on here too, because he's, for anyone who doesn't know him, he's a professor, right? He teaches at a university. He's a tattoo artist.
He's a smart guy, bro.
Like, it's insane,
he's
man.
Playing
like,
it smart. Like I said, like everything I'm telling him to do, even if it feels like it's hazing, like he sees, like he's like, all right, Flash, I see why you're making me do this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm glad you are. Like,
probably because he's doing it to his students too. Right?
Well, he might see the other side of it too. Like it might be a challenge that you kind of hit him with, where he feels like somewhere inside him that he wants.
But I also think like you wouldn't do anything that's unreasonable. Like again, my worst part of my apprenticeship, dude, was just getting food, and that was really it. And on top of that, and cleaning, which is fine. I had other stories where, again, like they would make them eat the whole hot pickle, and if you didn't eat it in under a minute, you got to scrub the whole shop.
But see, like that goes back to, like I'm saying, like that whole theory of like hardened steel is made in fire, right? It's made under fire. It's not made in just regular environments, like it's 98 degrees, it's perfect. Like no, it's hardened under extreme stress and heat, and bound and folded until it becomes what it is.
You saying that actually kind of made sense though, bro. Like it kind of preps us for clients, because you're right. What if a client was to be like, I don't like this drawing, start over? Are we gonna curl down on the ball and start crying and be like, shit, we can't do this? Or we're gonna be like, all right, cool, give us 10 minutes. We go to the back, we cry as we're drawing. Yeah. So I mean, like, show it here over there.
Yeah, you could just say crumble up, right? But then guess what? You don't get paid. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then like you can't guarantee someone's gonna walk through that door and be like, hey, I want you to tattoo me, because what if they don't?
Yeah,
and
at the end of the day, dude, it's on them. You know what I mean? Like our job is just to make sure everybody that comes in walks out happy. You know what I mean? So if the person came in, we drew for 5 hours, don't get me wrong, dude, I'm gonna be salty about it, but I'm never gonna disrespect. I'll be like, that's fine, you didn't want this, we split ways, fuck, I'll post it up there, and if anything, I'll give it for free, just to even show, like, in my own head, like I didn't need to get paid for this, bro.
Yeah. That's deep. That's character, man. That's something that's different. Now, one thing I want to ask you, because this is like it stands true for the shop, man, is okay. So this shop, I think completely, you've changed things up, man. So going from that traditional like biker tattoo shop, or just like that old school like
traditional
old English, black and gray, all that kind
Japanese,
of all of that, Japanese, right? American traditional. We're doing anime. You're doing anime tattoos in here, right? So you decided to flip you've changed the game, dude. And I'm saying you've changed the game because right now, where we're at, and we're in like the greater Los Angeles area, you're like one of the only shops that's doing this. There may be another one somewhere out there that we don't know, so I'm not going to say it's the only one.
Deal.
Right? We can't speak in general.
At least out here in Lancaster and Antelope Valley, dude. There's other artists that are attempting, but like we're just trying to specialize in anime. Like, bring us all your cartoons, everything that brings your inner child out, that makes you feel a kid at home, dude. That like, you want to wear proudly. Come our direction, dude. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Toon Network, like. Just everything, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's awesome, man, because I've been into anime, obviously, since I was a very young kid, and I have anime tattoos. And about 5 years ago, I went to a very prominent tattoo shop out here. We won't name them. And I brought them a very simplistic anime tattoo, just the Sharingans from Naruto, right? And I got immediate pushback. And they're like, there's no way we can do this. I'm not into this stuff. I'm like, and I told them, I said, I'm not asking you to be into it. I'm just saying, this is the tattoo I want. For anyone who doesn't know, they're circles with like small designs inside. They're not very
intricate.
You got a tattoo.
And
it's almost very similar to tribal. If you really break it down, like all these tattoo styles, break it down. Even anime has traditional, has neo-traditional, has realism in it, has tribal in it, dude. It has so many different aspects in it. You know what I mean? But I am a firm believer that if again, when I said I started doing Pokemon tattoos, dude, my heart started going into the pieces.
Yeah.
So if you're going to a tattooer that's like, I don't even know what this is, looks cool, but I'll do it, I'm sure they'll kill it. But if you're going to somebody that's like, bro.
It's not the same.
Oh my God, they're going to put their heart into it.
That's why I was trying to get in here.
Yeah, which is what we talked about earlier, right? Which is what drew me to this shop in its inception for me, right? Is that, like I said, I had a very good tattoo artist that I went to down in Hollywood, but me and him didn't have a connection. He wasn't super into the art. And I remember the moment that I walked into the shop, I felt like I was at home because it's my style, right?
Yeah.
And I looked around, and every tattoo artist that's in this place has the same wants, same likes, same loves for stuff.
Everybody here loves
from stuff
this,
when we were kids. When we were kids.
We're all kids living the dream right
like
now.
we said, we used to, me and Russ used to get off school and rush home just so we can watch Pokemon on the next episode, right? Make sure, hopefully, Mom wasn't on the TV at the time, so we can watch the next episode. Dragon Ball Z, all those kind of things, And when I found something like-minded, it made me feel like this is where I needed to be, right? And so that's what drew me into Velvet Rose tattooing.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like that was one thing I noticed too. Is like if I had gone into any other tattoo shop, forget the fact that I knew Vic, the artist that did all my work. Forget that. If I had just gone into any tattoo shop and said, hey, I want you to do like a neo-traditional sleeve of Star Wars all across my arm, they probably would have been like, okay.
No, another one of these. Another one of these.
And it's like, would they have been into it? Kind of like what the guy said to you, I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, when you come in here, you don't feel judged.
Yeah.
It's like, they were like, oh, hell yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do that. And Vic was all about it. He's like, yeah, let's do, he was stoked, right? I could see he was legitimately into it. He was posting like my art on his Instagram, and we'll throw him up. We'll actually have him on the episode.
No, absolutely,
not on this episode, but on another one. But
every artist here is killer, bro.
Yeah.
Let me give you a quick fun fact, though.
Yeah.
If somebody comes at me with an anime I haven't watched, I'll agree to it and I'll listen to their perspective on it. But I will personally actually go and do my own research on this one character. Even if I haven't watched an anime, I need to know about them. Just to see who it is that I'm going to tattoo. Then get an idea. Because I like to put... I'm not into the whole... Like, I respect the whole 90s tattoos of, like, having characters just standing still. But nowadays, dude, we need to have motion with our tattoos. Yeah. So if I see a Pokemon that is an electric type, of course I'm going to add some lightning here, do some crazy stuff, But with that character being said, if there's something specific, I will try to add it in there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's just a little fun fact. So I'll actually do my own research. But... everybody here kills it, bro.
Well, it goes back to the passion we're talking about, right? Like the passion that you have for what your client wants, And not to mention those things kind of bleed into your childhood, into what you loved growing up, which is why you're in the profession that you're in. As far as Pokemon goes, there's certain Pokemon that it actually electricity emits from certain parts of their body, exactly. Right? So if you're just going to be like, okay, cool, I'll do whatever tattoo it is, and I'm shooting electricity out of my mouth, they don't come from there. You know what I mean? So like you have to have that knowledge. So those are some of the things that we picked up on as we were here in the shop. I think
that's what matters, bro.
100%.
Anybody can make anything.
100%.
It's just when you could tell when a tattoo was really well put together, not just composition, not just color, not just this, but then the character alone, and you're like, damn, that guy actually made this happen, dude. Like that's a whole different level. And I think that's what I'm trying to push with everybody here, bro. It's not just me. Trust me, Vic kills it here, Mike kills it here, Prof kills it here, Gecko kills it here, Diva's killing it here. Everybody, bro. Yeah. You know, and I'm trying to push that direction.
So what do you think makes your shop different from everybody else?
Well, definitely the whole anime part. Definitely to just start off. Like, there's so many good black and gray artists out here alone, dude. Same with traditional, that I'm like, I respect them both. Why not mix them both in? Mm-hmm. Let's do some anime that's black and gray, and let's do some anime that's straight traditional, some colors, some watercolor. Let's bring in the stuff that other artists don't want to do. Like, if somebody really doesn't want to do that Pokemon because it seems childish as they're doing it, and they want to do a killer portrait, I would trade you that portrait for that fucking Pokemon, bro. Like, let me do it, because I will fucking kill it.
And do you think that's kind of tied to the old school mentality of it too?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing you guys are kind of changing up a little bit too here, is where it's not really the same, right? I'm not going to, once again, not saying names, not saying where, but I experienced this where someone I know was getting tattooed. They went into a shop thinking that their artist was still working there. They weren't. And they were told, hey, if you want to get tattooed by that person, don't ever come back here. I'll never tattoo you. Like, you're not welcome in the shop. And I'm like, that's insane.
What did I do?
That's insane to me. And it's like, I laugh a little bit because you think you're the only guy in like the AV with a tattoo machine. Yeah. Like, trust me, you can go anywhere. But like, that old school mentality of like, it's childish. Mm-hmm. That to me is like, that's like little dick, energy, right?
Little dick energy for sure.
100%, man.
Yeah.
You just, like, okay.
But like, how little?
Well,
we're talking about micro, dude. Like,
I'm kidding, but
enough to where your shop is shut down. Because I've been around the AV my whole life, man, and I've been to 100 different tattoo shops that have been out here that pop up for 6 months and they're down in just that amount of time.
Agreed, bro.
And what I've noticed, like, which I like about you guys, is that I feel like the business aspect of tattooing is very poor, right? I feel like people don't manage the client; they try to manage numbers all the time, and it doesn't make sense. Like the guy I went to, and again, a very prominent tattoo shop out here that had no interest in anything. I didn't want him to love what I was doing, but just at least act like you care.
Yeah.
Like at least show some love into the work that you're doing, because it's going to be on someone's body.
I definitely agree and disagree with everything both you guys said, because it went everywhere for a second. But the part that I do agree with old school aspects is they took so much pride in their work and who they're teaching it to and everything, and that's one part I do too. Even if it's not the kind of work they do, it's more of my Pokemon anime kind of stuff. I take pride in it like heavily. And as well with like who I'm gonna explain how I even did one little part. Mm-hmm. I mean, like with these guys, dude, we're an open book, and I love this because like we're constantly learning and sharing with each other. But if somebody comes in, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm an open book, but I do share where like I'm not gonna just share that with anybody either. I do agree with you guys on the part where it's like, it is fucking like little dick energy where it's like, dude, if somebody comes in and it's like, you don't want to share it and all that stuff, I mean, that's being dumb. Like I said, there's a lot of black and gray and traditional artists out here that are phenomenal, right? Yeah. More than happy to pass any of that stuff towards them. And like I said, I'll take all the Pokemon stuff, dude. I'll take all the anime. I'll take all the cartoons that they don't want to do. And if they want to take it on because they want to just make that quick buck, I mean, that's on them. But at the end of the day, dude, the client is the one that's going to be sitting with that piece.
Yeah.
So realistically, like, it sucks if they didn't do the research and be like, hey, fucking dude's going to kill it and dude's over here. It's our also responsibility as artists to be like, hey, I have a good friend that fucking kills it in traditional, kills it in Japanese, dude. We're passing pieces around knowing that the best pieces are coming out of AV. Mm-hmm. Not just this shop, bro. Not just the next shop.
Yeah. Well, I think a big reason, kind of like you were kind of getting there, I think a little bit, is like a lot of people who open up a business, right? And especially it's hard with like tattoo shops, in my opinion, because a lot of times they're artists that are opening up a business. What are artists? They're passionate.
Passionate, yeah.
What does a businessman have to be? not passionate, at least passionate about his business, not about his art. So that creates a conflict of interest. And that's why you see them open and close so often. That's why they're usually not that successful. But when you realize that, hey, it's two separate entities, like this is my art and this is my business, I got to treat my business like it's my business and my art like it's my art, but you don't mix the two, then I think you kind of create a recipe for success.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, like I said, you're not the only guy with the machine out here. You're like, other people can do it, and it's like, if you just create that understanding of it's all about the client. It's not even about you. It ain't about you.
Yeah.
It's not even about the artist, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Like really breaking it down to its core, it's not even about the artist.
No.
It's about the fucking person getting it done.
That's it. That's 100%.
And then they're coming to you and being like, hey, can you do this? Can you do your best job on this? It's up to us to be like, you know what? I know I can do good, but there's somebody that can do it better. Or being like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's kill it.
That's it. And like, if you do that, I think, in my opinion, if you do that, then you build so much more trust. Like, I would at that point come back to the shop and be like, hey, I'm coming back here. Even though you couldn't do it and you recommended me to another artist, just on the fact that you were honest about it and you still, and then I got a killer piece done by someone who you recommended. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still end up earning my business in the long run. But they're so worried about that short dollar.
Now, that was my point about the shops opening and closing forever, right?
That's true.
Like, you go in there, they only want to color between the lines, right? And this is all they can do.
Yeah.
And if you ever try to step outside that, they're almost like callous and they don't know how to like keep a business going.
Yeah.
My point is like when I come into Velvet Rose, right? I'm welcomed no matter what my ideas are. And I've had Vic, your artist here, tell me, he's like, I can't do that. Maybe Flash can do it, maybe Gecko can do it, whoever. But to me, that builds, like Russ was talking about, it builds that trust for me. I don't want someone to say, yeah, I got this, and then I get a shitty piece, and then I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life, so.
And then I think that's what separates a seasoned tattooer from a newbie tattooer, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, dude, I took so many pieces that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And learn from it
quick.
What
was the most jacked up? You don't have to like don't get any specifics. If someone hears this, they're like, "Damn,
that was me."
Let me start off with one that's actually on myself.
Okay.
That
that's
way
fair.
Nobody can get mad. So I actually did a huge Pikachu on my thigh.
Okay.
Which is funny.
Don't take off your pants.
Can we show it for the stream? Can we show?
So the fact that it was yellow, like colored yellow, and yellow is such a hard color to put into the skin because it blends in with skin and you don't know if it's in there. Let's best believe that this took maybe fucking half a year to heal because I overworked it. I chewed it up. Dude, I did anything and everything you could think of like to learn on a tattoo. I did it on myself and that taught me a lot. And let's just say there's a lot of people out there that I want to go back and fix my mistakes for sure. And again, hit me up.
Is it really yellow?
Dude.
It's like, hold on, it's like you're about to get it in with your girl and you take off your pants. She's like, does he have jaundice? Like, is it like that yellow? Or like
looking at me and
like,
like,
what are we talking about?
And be like, is that a Pikachu?
Hey, so first time she ever saw it in that situation. Walk us through that.
So the Pikachu under it says stand your ground. Like, you best believe.
Oh, and you stood that ground, baby.
Yeah, and that goes back to humility, bro.
Yeah.
Like realistically, I would have been embarrassed to show that tattoo in high school. I would have been embarrassed to show it after high school. I would have been embarrassed to show when I first started tattooing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not till now, dude. I'll drop my pants and be like proud to wear it and be like, this is where I started from to where I am now. It's not even the whole tattooing where I came from. It's the Pikachu part, bro. The Pokemon part. That's the part that we're talking about, the whole anime. Yeah. People are scared to wear all these cartoons on yourself, dude. But in reality, like, why aren't you wearing enough? Like, why are you wearing tattoos that you think are cool and sick? Don't get me wrong, but not what you actually really, really want to fucking rock.
Yeah.
I think people do that a lot. They're so worried, especially in the tattoo world. I got my first tattoo when I was 13 years old. And I'm 38 now, right? And so I got it done in a garage. I don't recommend it. But
hell yeah.
I always
I like that you're putting in work.
That's right. So I realized that a lot of people are concerned about what other people think their tattoo should be. Me, I have tattoos on my body that no one will ever understand, but I don't give a fuck because they're for me specifically. And I think people, again, the whole anime theme, the cartoon theme that we're getting into now, people wouldn't do that back in the day. I did that in different ways with like stuff for my family that I have, represented on my body. But I love now that we're able to do those things. So, wow, how Russ can have a whole Star Wars sleeve. I have a whole Naruto sleeve on my arm. You have Pikachu on your leg. I've had Vic do, anime tattoos on my leg, and I don't fucking care. It's because it's my body. I'm representing it. I'm not paying you to put tattoos, or I don't care about your thoughts. This is for me,
And that's the best part. And then what makes the experience even better here at Velvet Rose, dude, is whenever we're tattooing a specific character, everybody here in the shop is usually familiar. If not, we'll play that show. And
it's always on the screen.
And literally, we'll play that just for inspiration. Like the other day, I just did a Haku from Spirited Away.
Oh, nice.
Some of us haven't seen that in a while.
Dude,
I just watched it. And so I was like, dude, let's put that movie on.
Okay, so
I love it,
that's
bro.
one thing he's not just saying that 100%. This legitimately happened. So when I was getting tattooed, Vic was like, all right, we got to throw some Star Wars on, right?
Yeah.
We're throwing, and then I got to the point where I'm like, all right, enough Star Wars. I want to see some of the stuff that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. That's how we got into Hell's Paradise. But
yeah,
and it was like when we did the whole Halloween, right? We was like Halloween time, we were scary movies, The Purge, we were playing the show. It was very much like that, and it brings a different dynamic, and that's
it does, bro.
That makes you feel it.
Oh, you're seeing it while you're getting it inked on you, dude. It's a whole nother game.
Because any artist could put on headphones and get to their jams and
Which
ignore everything, and then any client could do the same. But then it's a whole different experience when the whole shop is vibing, and everyone's just loving it, bro. Like we're all into horror movies, we're all into anime, we're all into action, we're into real shit too, we're into music, bro. It changes, and we try to accommodate every client. For the most part, I definitely have my playlist that I play that gets me in my zone, same with all of us, but for the most part, if we all have clients, we will go through their playlists first, and going with who got here first. Meaning, let's say I'm tattooing somebody in the beginning, I'll ask them, hey, is there anything that gets you in your zone? What's going to help you sit here better? But they'll play some jams, I'll vibe.
So what goes back to what you were saying, though. It's not about you. It's about the client.
And then next client comes in, and we've been listening to their jams for a minute, and they're going to get tattooed. It's already been some time. We'll switch it off. Yeah. Because nobody wants control of the fucking control, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you think we give it away? Because we don't want that, dude. Because if it was up to me, I'd play the same shit all day, dude. That gets me in my zone, and I can say fuck everyone. But in reality, I want everybody to be like, damn, I feel at home. I feel in the zone, and then look around and everyone just be vibing, bro. Dude. That's my favorite fucking part, bro. Looking around and we each have a story everyone's about that. Experience, bro.
That reminds me of going to the doctors with my mom, and they have Judge Judy on TV, and you're like, I don't want to watch it. You're a kid, and you're like, yeah, you want to watch cartoons or something different. And then it's that was not the experience coming in here. You guys hand me the remote, and you're like, all right, put whatever you want on, dude, or you throw ideas, and it's just different, and you make it about the client, and that's I think
we only have one rule though. You could put whatever you want, just as long as it's not whack.
I like it. I love it.
Hey, dude.
And that just creates so much more pressure.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we say, we walk away, and they're just like, fuck, what's whack?
Yeah.
It's nah, dude, the point is, put what makes you happy, bro. Yeah. Trust me, we're all chill, dude. Nobody cares.
And that kind of translates, I think, to your guys' vibe with clients. When they come in, you want their ideas, right? And I could say, not taking away anything from Vic, but everything that I got done was, my idea, his art.
Yeah.
It was 100%. That's exactly what it was. It was my idea. I told him what I wanted. He gave him reference photos. He designed it up to something he wanted to be able to draw, and he knew he could do, and did it. And then that was the most amazing part. He didn't ask for total control on any of them. Some of them I wanted him to have, and he did on those.
Yeah.
And it was dude, and I can tell it wasn't even just him, because he was still a newer artist at the time. But it was, you can see it's the influence of the shop. Yep. Because it wasn't just him. I see, Gecko doing that, and Mike does. Everyone relates to their own clients in one way or another, and says, hey, I'll take your idea, I'll run with it, and I'll still make it my own. That's cool. So that brings me on another question I'm going to ask you, but go ahead.
It's definitely a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part, dude, after doing this for so long, man, is I get creative freedom. I do. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, they let me do me. But then there's times where it's well, I'm not sure what you're into. I mean, give me an idea what you're into. They're nah, just whatever. And it's okay, that's not helping. The way I look at us, dude, is think of us as a taxi driver. You tell us where you want to go, we'll figure out how to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's true, So it's I'll talk to clients and be you don't got to show me the exact design, just spit fucking words at me, bro, and I'll be like, cool. I'll put something together and be like, check it out, and they'll be like, sick.
Yeah.
You know, so it really is a double-edged sword. Like, I don't know.
It's interesting. So where do you see the shop going, and like in its future? What do you want for the shop in this future?
Honestly, dude, I think you're looking at it, bro. Like, I don't care to expand. I didn't even want to open up a shop. It was more of me just doing me. Just me wanting to create what I want to create. And if anything, I just got lucky that I had friends that came along, was like, can I just hang out with you and create with you? Shit, by all means.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, dude, we have a whole shop, and it's like, shit's getting bigger.
I can tell you, too, it's insane, because in the course of, like a year, a little over a year that I've been coming in, obviously you were in a different location, now moved to this new location, which we'll drop the locations, on the video and in the podcast, so you guys can hear where that's at, or stop by and visit. But in that course, you've only gained new artists. You've only gained like new apprentices. Nobody's left. No, like the artists are here. Like they want to be resident artists. They're here. They're staying. They're not leaving.
And I am very picky. I said no to a lot of people.
Yeah,
you should.
I said no to a few artists here a few times, and then they were persistent and still kept coming. And I was like, you know what? Show me what you got. It's just, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm trying to create a space that, like, I know what I can produce. I want to create a space where this is what I'm producing tenfold. Meaning the artists next to me are fucking pushing as hard as I am. And, like, even if it's not on the same level or whatever you want to experience, it's the fact that, again, clients are walking out of here happy, dude. Whether it's by my lowest experienced artist or the highest one, dude, they're all killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes, like I said, it makes it an environment where they get to learn, they get to grow, and obviously kind of be themselves and stuff, which I think is pretty cool, man. It definitely changes it up. It's not like that same shop that you've been to, we've all been to. You walk in, and you're like, oh, okay,
I always love that when I've been personally tattooed here, is that every other artist takes an interest in what I'm getting tattooed.
Yeah.
I'll look up, because I fall asleep during all my tattoos, and everyone that knows me knows that. And then I wake up and I got 4 eyes like right above me, almost like I'm like getting operated on.
Yeah.
And they're all just like super into the tattoo, and I'm like, oh, who's that? Oh, it's kind of nerve-wracking at first, but then I realize what's happening is that they all give a fuck.
Dude,
and they're all interested in your, like, I want to see what fucking Flash can do. I want to see what Vic can do. I want to, what Gecko can do.
That's actually one of my favorite things that we do here.
Yeah.
We showcase.
Yeah.
Meaning, as soon as we're done with the tattoo, whether you were happy with it or not, I mean, of course, God forbid, with your head, you fucking kill it.
Yeah.
But we show every one of us the piece.
I was
and
getting
all
tattooed.
of us give criticism, whether it's good or bad.
I was getting tattooed by Vic, I think my first or second time, and I believe it was you. You came over and started filming like a Instagram post for him, and you posted on the shop for him. Like, it had nothing to do with you. You just posted because you were interested in the piece he was doing.
Dude,
so that to me was like, oh shit. He even thinks he's doing a good job. Like,
You know what? Can I say something that was kind of hard as a business owner? Me wanting to do all the Pokemon tattoos, right? And then having artists come in and then them kill the Pokemon tattoos and me not do them. Don't get me wrong. It was like a selfish feeling where it was like, I know I want to be the one to do it, but I had to let go and be like, I trust these guys enough that they're going to kill it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's with all our pieces. So, like, in the beginning, bro, like, transitioning from artist to owner was like, nah, I can do this. I want to do this. I want to showcase this. I want to do this, to like being like, my shop can produce this. My shop can take care of this. My shop can do this. It's not just me anymore, bro. Fucking
it's evolution, man. We're talking about Pokemon. That's evolution, brother.
It's evolution. As much as I want to be like, I can kill that, but let me take care of it in 3 weeks. Nah, dude, my boy right here that's available right now.
Yeah,
will fucking kill it, and he knows because he knows that he has my eyes looking over it. So it's like, dude, we all teach each other, bro.
That's like I said, that goes back to the point of it being different, because you go to any other place, mostly that I've ever seen, and it's always like they're all like hungry dogs fighting for that treat, or fighting for the
same. It's dog eat dog world, bro. This is nasty.
And then the moment that say you get me as the client at these other shops, and the other guys, they don't care about you no more. Like they've already lost. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's different too here, especially that, because I know, like I said, Vic did a lot, all my work, and I remember halfway through like my sleeve, I looked over at you and I was like, hey, dude, so this whole leg here is naked, man. Like, you know, are you down to do it next year? And you're like, yeah, dude. And then I looked around and I got I got Vic and Gecko also, who are going to, you know, all three of you guys are going to tag team my leg. And I was like, damn, like, everyone was into it, man. Everyone had, he's like, not that kind of circle.
Okay.
Not a circle jerk on my leg, man. It's like they're actually going to get in there and tattoo.
So that's actually a difference we have here, bro. Because going back to the old school mentality,
yeah,
it was more of a, this is my client, that's your client, they can talk, and that's about it.
Yeah, and see, that's annoying to me, man. Like I legit, no, dude. By the time I'm done here, like Mike's gonna tattoo me, like Proc's gonna tattoo me, like legitimately everyone in the shop will have tattooed me, and that's that's how I'm gonna roll.
I think what I'm trying to change is, instead of caring who they're getting tattooed or who's tattooing who, let's all care about what's coming out of here.
Yeah.
Meaning like it doesn't matter who the fuck does it, dude. Just like, we're all gonna fucking eyeball that shit, like, and be like, is that Velvet Rose material?
Yeah.
Because that shit better like be, bro.
Well, that's the standard, man.
That creates, I think, way more success than everyone like being dog eat dog, right? Because you like, we prosper as a team, as a unit, as a family, like as a tribe. It takes a tribe.
We survive on pizza. Let me just say that we survive on pizza, bro, because we're a family, man. Like, like one day he's got it, one day I got it, one day he's got it. We're all fucking eating.
Little Caesars, Round Table. What are we doing?
We're a little flashier. But, yeah.
Round Table.
Round Table's
bougie shit over here.
I'm not trying to drop any names, but they get down.
Fancy pizza.
Some fancy feast.
I know, right? Right? It's their turn to like, oh, I brought fucking frozen pizza.
DiGiorno, baby.
Hey, like you said, nothing whack, dude. If not, you're
nothing
gone,
whack,
dude.
bro. Yeah, nothing whack.
All right, so have you guys had a grand opening yet? It's one thing that I've been kind of curious.
So, would it be considered a grand opening if it's like a year later?
I mean, grand opening is when you say it is, man.
Ooh, I love that, bro. I love that.
It don't matter when. You say when.
Like you said earlier, we did just actually move from our old location, which was our beginning location. This is our new one, which not a lot of people have seen yet. It's bigger spaced.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. It's enough to comfort everybody, finally.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because the last one, like I said, we were making it happen.
So we're actually recording in the tattoo studio. If you could see right above the sign, like our backdrop, you'll see Velvet Rose Tattoo Studio. Yeah, what? But yeah, we're actually in there right now, recording in here. And so if you hear like background noise or you see, you know, that's what it is like, it's an active, like, people were getting tattooed right now as we were recording this. So like, yeah, it's happening. It's definitely happening. Matter of fact, we got some footage of you tattooing a client as we were getting everything set up. So it's like, it's very much real, man. This isn't like putting on a show for anything. This is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
As for a grand opening, it's still in the works. We're thinking in May. We just haven't dropped any dates yet.
Okay.
We're kind of just, to be honest with you, dude, like, because again, we've been open for 3 years now. My first shop, or the first location, I wanted to go big, did the whole grand opening, big scissors, cutting ribbon, fucking ran it, bro. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is a different level of opening a shop now for myself. Yeah. Where I'm like, this is not even about just opening a shop anymore, bro. You got bigger things on your plate now. So, and if anything, I'm sorry, but a grand opening is the last thing on your mind, maybe. Yeah. Like it's just, like, I want everybody to know we're officially open. It's just been hell going through the whole transitioning. I thought it was going to be as simple as just changing your address. Put it this way, you got to close down your whole business account and open up a whole new business from start. And I was like, sick, all right, yeah, let's make it happen, dude. But this
almost made you regret it a little bit.
This is when I was already balls deep, and I was like, all right, we're already in here.
Yeah,
let's have fun.
Hey, dude, man.
So like, we're officially open, and as for moving, I'm happy with my space.
Yeah,
let's make it happen. Like, we're gonna be here for a minute.
So
for sure.
I'm gonna throw this out there, and hopefully you're not like, oh dang, he's sharing some info. So you and I kind of talked offline about this. Instead of doing like a grand opening, doing like an event hosted here at the studio, where it's all about you guys connecting with your future clients and just connecting with the community, right? Connecting with everybody out here and saying like, what about that? Is that still something that's interesting to you?
Absolutely.
Like, interesting to you?
Absolutely.
Maybe that's really the grand opening.
Maybe that is our grand opening. You know? Like, not even the whole come get tattooed. Like, if anything, please come get tattooed. But I want to actually get to know every person sitting in my chair, bro.
He just said it. Come meet us.
Come meet us.
Come meet us.
See
Let that be the real
behind the machine, right?
Yeah, like I said, come book with us. Come talk to us. Come get to know us, because we want to get to know you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and that changes everything, bro.
Yeah. So you guys kind of heard it right here. If you're even local to the Los Angeles area, if you're into like anything, right? Comics, movies, any kind of that subculture, horror movies, anime, whatever it is, Star Wars. It doesn't matter
Pokemon.
What it is. Pokemon. Yeah, I think he said Pokemon like 500 times.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Whatever it is, right?
Digimon.
This is your tattoo shop. Like, this is your shop. You can come in here and get tattooed and not feel weird about it. Like, that's, I think, the kind of the point we kind of made here is like, it's the one place you can go and feel legit secure with what you're getting done and not feel judged, right? Feel at home. Like,
and get awesome work done too. We haven't really talked about the quality of work too.
Legitimately, and this is like why, like I said, I wanted you to work on my leg, is because you are probably one of the cleanest artists I've seen. Like, your work, man, like, dude, I'm just waiting for the day that one of the artists in here goes to Ink Masters or something like that.
Appreciate
that. And I mean that, like, in all sincerity, like, legitimately, you all are good, man. Dude. And it's the standard that, like, I know you're pushing them, dude, and that's what makes a good manager and a good leader.
We're all crying.
yeah. You're essentially like their apprenticeships haven't ended. Mike's in the background laughing like shit, man. And it's true. Like, legitimately, like, you're always pushing. I remember when I was talking to Vic, he was literally tattooing me, and you were telling him, like, you guys were talking about script. And you're like, no, man, like, we got to get you, like, on. You were talking about getting everyone to just start drawing script, and you were going to make them do something.
Script is the number one thing, bro. Even for me, I have horrible penmanship, horrible. But during my apprenticeship, and you know what? That's actually what my mentor had me do. He said, write out this script real quick. And that's where I wrote it out, and he was like, okay, well, let's see your book. It was one of his first tests, because script is the number one thing, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody gets names, dates, quotes, whatever you want to say. It's the number one thing that gets tattooed.
Yeah.
I think every artist needs to know script before anything.
Yeah, and it's good that you're pushing them, though. Like, you want them to be better. That's like an indication that I want you to be better. It's not for you. It's for them.
Yeah, because like I said, dude, I can be an artist that could be like, all right, let me hire people that don't do what I do, and let me just take everything. But at what cost?
That's kind of the point. And like, we've talked about this too, man. It's like, at one point or another, you are essentially what you leave behind. Right?
Yeah.
Like, your legacy is what you leave behind. It's not what you're producing, what you're doing. If you're, teaching something, the greatest gift is the gift of knowledge passed on.
Yep.
Like, you pass on what you know to other people, man. At that point, you become immortal. You will never die, because everything you've taught those people will live on forever.
And they'll pass that on.
Like, I tried paying bills with knowledge, it didn't really work.
Yeah,
but
didn't take that.
My like short-term goal, man, is like, realistically, let's say I have a day off, I want somebody to come in and be like, I won't work like flashes, but then anybody here can kill it and be like, damn, this shit's fucking sick, and me look at it and be like, damn, that came out of my studio, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't even get to see it in person.
Yeah,
that's what I truly want, bro. Like everybody here kills it, bro.
I think that's where you guys are headed for sure. And I can definitely see the vision of what you want to accomplish here, and it, like you said, it's always better when, like, I can impart that knowledge to somebody else and they can still do the same kind of job, and again, at the end of the day, Velvet Rose has got your name on it.
Yeah.
So even if you're not physically doing that tattoo, you have to feel some sort of
that's what I'm saying,
accomplishment
bro.
Of it's still my shop.
That was the transition between becoming an artist to an owner, dude. Like Flash in Action is myself. Velvet Rose is all of us.
There you go.
And I know how far I can get by myself, but that's not the goal. The goal is I want to bring all of us up to my level, and be like, this is where we're all going to be able to eat. And this is my standard.
That's it, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, these guys get it.
Yeah.
They fucking get it, bro. Like I said, I've worked with so many shops that I'm like, they were content, which is fine. 100% fine. It's just, I'm an artist that wants more. And I know that you're not going to grow with somebody that's content. It's like, you need to stay with artists that continuously want more. Because when you think you're there, they're fucking getting right behind you. You look back and you're like, all right, I got to go a little bit more. And you just keep pushing. I think it's healthy competition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've had that in the past. where we're pushing each other and we're just healthy. And then I've had other ones where, like, again, shops were just so separated, nobody talked to each other, like nobody wanted to show each other shit. Fucking, like, let's say it's you're up, you go to the restroom, and next thing you know, like, somebody came in and they took it, and it's like, well, fuck me, right? Like
well,
wow, dude.
That kind of goes with, like, surrounding yourself, I think, with, like, if you want to be better, then surround yourself with high caliber people, right? Like, if you want to be the big fish in the little pond, surround yourself with a bunch of people that are shit, and you'll look great. But if you really want to be great, surround yourself with great people, and you're going to be even better.
Because you're going to realize you're that little fish.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It's gonna you're gonna be humble, and you're gonna, like, be grounded and be like, yeah, dude, I really got to try, because this guy back here, they're coming right at me, you know. Like,
on my spot.
Yeah, I got to be better, and it's gonna keep pushing you. I think that's exactly what you guys do here. 100%, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
we're trying, bro. We're trying.
Yeah. So for everyone out there, let's plug in your IG, dude, so they can find you. If they're on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
So I am Flash in Action, literally the way it sounds.
Flash in Action. And then the shop. What's the shop?
Shop's called Velvet Rose Tattoo Studio.
Velvet Rose Tattoo. If you guys can find it on our Instagram. Tyler's following them. I'm following them. The Real Talk Russ podcast is following them on Instagram. You'll see us. So definitely give Flash a follow for sure. Check them out. Like I said, come down. Just walk in the building, man. You just walk into the studio and
just come and hang out, man.
Yeah,
like,
come watch some anime.
Come watch some anime. We're actually trying to do a thing where we're huge into video games, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing a tournament where it's going to be like a Super Smash Brothers one or even Mario Kart one.
Shit,
but
son.
we're going to treat it like gym leaders. If you beat all 4 of us or all 5 of us, we're trying to figure out what's going to happen, but you best believe
free tattoo.
Free tattoo.
Free tattoo, bro. Free tattoo. You know what?
Flash. Free tattoo.
I'll actually say that one.
He's going to get you tattoos.
You come and beat all of us, bro.
Pokemon style of gym leaders, right?
Please, bro.
All right,
please.
cool. That would be
because everybody here is killer too.
Yeah.
Like in video games. So that's why I'm like,
even like my 14-year-old daughter, and she's gonna smash you all.
Put it this way, bro. I'm probably the worst one. Out of everybody here that plays games.
So is each artist gonna have like a badge that you can't
when you come beat us, like it has to be within a week. So that way, like you get a badge, or whatever,
An expiring badge.
Yeah, expiring badge. You can't just hold on to it for a year and be like, all right, I trained. You know what? Fuck it. If you train for a year, you deserve it.
That'd be sick.
I like it. Yeah. All right, so we got your IG, we got the shop's IG. All the artists are on there too, right? They could look up all the different artists or just come in, like I said, check them all out.
Come meet them all, man.
Yeah, honestly, that's really it, man. That's really it. Just come and meet them. So let's see, what else were we looking at? Well, that's kind of it. I mean, unless you got anything. Your story is so deep, man. It's like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah,
it's a lot. We haven't even scratched the surface with Flash. Like there is a lot more. And we're gonna have you on another episode for sure. We'll probably do another two episodes with him because he's got very deep in it. This guy's got some stories,
and this is just the tattooing aspect, bro.
Yeah,
and that's all this was, right? Like we just want everyone to know who you are, what the shop's about, and then on the next one we'll dive into your background and stuff. We'll get into more of the real talk because this is just like this is Flash. This is what we do. Like. This, tattooing, and for anyone who doesn't know about, tattooing and stuff, that's where they can kind of get that feel and understand that a little bit. But you got some good stories, man. I know you're probably itching to tell them, so we'll definitely get into that on the next episode. But for everyone, thanks for following, guys. Thanks for giving us a listen. We're kind of wrapping up this episode. Always follow us on Instagram at Real Talk Russ. You can follow Tyler on Instagram. What's your handle?
Tyler's Go at Instagram.com.
Instagram.com? Sure, at Instagram.com. If you want to do that, you can look. I think he jacked that one up.
I'm a social media.
He's a social media guy. You can go to realtalkruss.com. Our website is up. You can find all that info on there too. And then if you want to follow me, it's Russell Martini on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then like I said, just give us a follow, guys. Thanks for listening, and this is going to kind of wrap up our episode of Real Talk Russ. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.